said Matthew Stafford, and he's not happy with his contract. He's seeing Trevor Lawrence and Tua making 50 mil. He's the only Super Bowl champion right now. Sorry, with Jalen Hurts in the NFC, and he's not happy, man. He wants 50 mil, or he wants to be traded. He's forcing to retire. Um, what do you think about Matthew Stafford's trade possibilities? Do the Rams make that trade? I don't think the Rams will pay him, right? Because they'll probably want to get younger, and but he's been very durable, man. He played every game this year, I think so. He had a bad his offensive line wasn't really good in the beginning. Later on, they became great, like after injuries. But he's taking a lot of hits. He's just still playing good. Which team makes sense to trade for Matthew Stafford?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's a great question. I mean, you could talk about the Jets. I don't see it. I do think Vegas is a feasible option. I mean,
Chip Kelly and Matthew Stafford, man.
I think that is a genuinely realistic option. I don't think it's a coincidence that Matthew Stafford was hearing Tom Brady out about going to Vegas. I think that if the Rams do decide to trade Matthew Stafford, I think that would probably be my choice of destination. It's not a secret the Raiders are trying to upgrade a quarterback. I mean, they talked about it last year at the combine. It was like quarterback, 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 and I don't think the quarterback board fell the way they had hoped, and they just took Brock Bowers, which obviously was a great pick. But I think they've always been ready to get a quarterback, and when you bring in a coach like Pete Carroll, who's older, it kind of changes it. Like you got to kind of want to win sooner than later. It's not like he's a young guy where you can build up your team and over a course of a long time. I mean, it might just have to happen sooner than later. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen. I don't know what a trade would look like for Matthew Stafford, but I definitely think if I had to say today, that would probably be my spot for him.
Yeah,
Just based off all the rumblings that have been going around.
I think that makes sense. Also, the Steelers make sense. Like they're close, man. They got a really good defense, some offensive pieces, really good O line. They were hoping Russ could get them, over the top this year. Got them to the playoffs, which was amazing. But I think Matthew Stafford makes sense for the Steelers.
Matthew Stafford does make sense for the Steelers. The Steelers, yet again, are a quarterback away, and they have not been able to solve it through the draft, through free agency, nothing. They just have not been able to figure out through trades. And I think that this is an opportunity to get a veteran that has won a Super Bowl in the building. And this isn't like a Russell Wilson type of veteran that's won a Super Bowl. I mean, Matthew Stafford pretty recently won a Super Bowl, and so I think that might be a good fit for them. And it would be interesting to see. That's going to be an interesting storyline to follow because I do believe there will probably be Matthew Stafford trade discussions during this week in Indy. Will it get done? I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but there definitely will be discussions for sure.